Hey folks, this is Riker with a gaming news wrap-up video where we discuss the happenings of the week. This week's topics include new rumors surrounding a Diablo Netflix series, the colossal disaster that was the trailer to the new Doom movie, a roundup of action RPG news, and more. As always, discussion timestamps can be found in the video description. But right before you skip ahead, just a quick reminder to ring the sub-notification bell to be alerted of new Saturday episodes. In our first quick news story here, a 30-second teaser trailer has released for upcoming movie Doom Annihilation based on the beloved Doom video game franchise, and it is dreadful. I thought the 2005 Doom movie was bad. This redefines the word bad. It looks like a low-budget, cheaply made film. There's weird lighting, weird camera angles, and it all just screams amateurish. But don't take my word for it, take the 21,000 dislikes on YouTube amounting to 94% downvoted. And I'll drop a link down below for you to check out this atrocity yourself, but the official Doom video game Twitter account did comment on this when asked for an honest opinion on the trailer, and they said, quote, "We're not involved with the movie." Now before we move on, I'd just like to take a quick minute to thank this video's sponsor, Dollar Shave Club, which, despite its name, is not just about shaving equipment. Whatever your hygiene and grooming routine is, shampooing, shaving, showering, brushing your teeth, Dollar Shave Club has you covered. And they currently have this ongoing offer where for $5 you can get one of their starter sets. There's the Oral Care Starter Set, which comes with a soft bristle toothbrush and a trial size of their fluoride gel toothpaste. Then you have their Shower Starter Set, which comes with trial size versions of their Amber and Lavender Body Cleanser, their Citrus and Hawaiian Ginger Face Cleanser, as well as their Sage and Black Pepper Shampoo. And lastly, of course, you have their Shave Starter Set, which comes with an executive razor and a 3-ounce tube of shave butter. This is a 6-blade razor that comes with 3 extra cartridges, and after using that shave butter, I could never go back to shaving cream. You can join the Dollar Shave Club with one of their starter sets for just $5, after which the restock box will ship a regular size product at regular price, and you can get this exclusive deal at dollarshaveclub.com/Riker. Alright, on to our next news story. Valve has rolled out an update for Steam that is a tremendous boon to developers that are running multiplayer games and using Steam servers. The result of these improvements is that players will have lower ping in-game, better multiplayer performance overall, and Valve is also offering free DDoS protection so that the servers can't be taken down by script kiddies. Now, these improvements have been in development for years, and I know some people want to say, oh, it's because of the Epic Games Store. Now Valve is stepping up their act. Valve has always been working to improve their platform, but nonetheless, this is an example of competition done right. Living or dying by virtue of being the superior platform, not because you offer people money to be exclusive to your platform. And this is also why competition is good. It prevents companies from getting complacent. It forces them to innovate or to improve or die. We've discussed the Epic Games Launcher in the past, as well as the whole Steam versus Epic and Epic Games Store exclusives. And one talking point that I see brought up is that game devs are allowed to release their games on whatever platform they want to. We as consumers are not owed anything by the devs. They don't owe it to us to bring it to Steam. And this is absolutely correct. We as consumers are not owed anything, and developers are free to do whatever they want. And we as consumers are free to patronize what developers and publishers and platforms that we choose to. We as consumers can voice our opinions, our concerns, and developers are free to ignore that completely if they want to. Now, I'm not here to defend or promote Steam and say that they've never done anything anti-consumer, but I am here to promote pro-consumer practices, and I don't understand why anyone would defend anti-consumer practices. Rather, I don't understand why any consumers would defend them. As consumers, it is in our best interest that competition exists amongst platforms, and while yes, we might prefer to have all of our games in one place, that just means that other competing platforms have to make it that much more attractive for us to want to go to a different platform. An anti-consumer way of doing that is by saying, well, this is the only place that you can get this product. Whereas a pro-consumer practice would be to offer discounts or bundles or just better service overall. Google search didn't beat out Alta Vista search back in the day because it offered exclusive search results. It just was the better search engine. Alright, on to some Cyberpunk 2077 news. Rumor has it that Lady Gaga will somehow be involved in this game. According to French website Act2 Gaming, anonymous sources that they trust claim that Lady Gaga was spotted at the CD Projekt Red studio in Poland, and that she was allegedly there to do motion capture. And all this for Cyberpunk 2077, though the extent of her involvement with the game is unknown, and if we had to hazard a guess, it would likely be minimal. I'd imagine some novelty character inside some club that sings and dances, but even that in and of itself would be very cool. If there is some singer out there, some performer that seems like they would fit the cyberpunk aesthetic, I think Lady Gaga would fit the bill. The rumors go on to say that this collaboration will be officially revealed at E3 2019, along with the game's release date. E3 begins on June 11th. Now, there is some evidence to suggest a link between Lady Gaga and Cyberpunk, because back in September 2018, the official Cyberpunk Twitter account replied to a 2012 gibberish tweet from Lady Gaga with, of course we will. We will, however, still likely have a whiles to wait before the release of Cyberpunk, because according to a new video, which I'll link in the video description, at the end, the narrator states Cyberpunk 2077 may no longer be the mystery it once was, but work on it is far from over, and that it'll be coming when it's ready. Are you looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077? Sound off in the comments. On to some quick Borderlands 3 news. Developer Gearbox is teasing something for March 28th in Boston, Massachusetts, which is the time and location of the PAX East convention. Their teaser image is very Borderlands, so it's safe to assume that this is associated with Borderlands, and as a little clue, you can see that the sign reads Exit 3. Borderlands 3 is something that people have been looking forward to for a long time. Gearbox is well aware that this teaser will make people think Borderlands 3, so either this is a masterful troll, or Borderlands 3 will soon be revealed, March 28th. On to some action RPG news, starting with Torchlight Frontiers. As I promised last week, this week I released a full video with my impressions on the game. Be sure to check that out. Because in other action RPG news, the launch date, the release date of Grim Dawn's expansion Forgotten Gods has been revealed to be March 27th, and it'll be available for only $16. In other Grim Dawn news, patch 1.1 released this week, and among other things, it brought a 64-bit client, which some people believe is providing a smoother experience, but it might just be a placebo effect. If you play Grim Dawn, what have you experienced with the 64-bit client? On to some Wolcen news. We got an update. The devs have a new beta version of the passive skill tree that they were ready to show us. And they also mentioned that they hope to have a beta release date for Wolcen with their next news update. The passive skill wheel has been one of Wolcen's biggest draws. The ability to have a skill tree broken into rings that you can independently rotate is really cool. And they've now given us a breakdown on what all the new sections on the wheel will be. So if you're interested, I'll drop the link. You can check that out for yourself. On to some Path of Exile news. Synthesis League began. We are now a week into Synthesis. And if you've been playing but find yourself confused by the Synthesis mechanics, Ziggy D has posted an excellent video demystifying all that. The reception to the League has not been one of the best receptions, but overall it does seem to be well received. Some people would like to see certain quality of life changes, but what are your thoughts on Synthesis? Some people are saying that the leagues are getting way too complex. And my thoughts on that are, well, if something is too complex, just ignore it. You don't have to engage with every bit of content in the game. Myself personally, I started playing out Synthesis League and immediately was doing the Synthesis encounters that I would run into. But after a while, I stopped doing them because I just felt that it was impeding my progress through the campaign, and I figured, okay, well, I'll get back to this, I'll digest it, I'll learn this at a later point. This doesn't seem to be tremendously helpful to me right now, But when I'm later in the game, then I'll come back and try to understand all this. And I felt similarly about other leagues in the past, but I have to say that Betrayal was the one league that I really engaged with the league mechanic from the start and every time. I think Betrayal is probably my favorite league at this point. But speaking of Betrayal, a lot of people are unhappy about Betrayal's implementation into core. Among some of the complaints are that with how rare the Syndicate encounters now are, the rewards for engaging with the Betrayal content are so long-term that they feel unrewarding. And as well, the intervention encounters are just as deadly as ever, but now much more unexpected. Now I go back to what I just said before. I feel that if there is some league mechanic that you either are not interested in or is too complex for you to tackle, just ignore it. And for most former league mechanics, you can do this. If you encounter it on the map, generally you can just run by it and it doesn't have to bother you. But you can't quite do that with Betrayal League, particularly with the interventions. It is a league mechanic you can't just ignore. So a lot of people are hoping for some fixes to Betrayal coming to core, and this week GGG did release patch 361 with some fixes to Synthesis, and nothing really quite yet for Betrayal. They did a small fix for Betrayal that doesn't seem to have really helped a lot of people. But then again, by the time this video goes live, maybe things will be fixed. GGG is really fast at responding to feedback and putting out patches, so it does look like they're working on it, and I'm not terribly concerned about them fixing the issues here. We finally got a release date for PoE on PS4, March 26th. I know so many of you have been asking me over and over, when's it going to happen? Now we know. It'll be releasing with the full content, including this league. And in case you're unaware, tickets are currently on sale for ExileCon, a convention completely surrounding Path of Exile. Being hosted by GGG, tickets are $200, and as of the time of this recording, there are 243 tickets still remaining. It'll be November 16th and 17th in New Zealand, and this is where, among other things, they're going to reveal their Path of Exile 4.0 mega expansion, which they were developing to compete with a potential Diablo 4. So I'm really looking forward to what GGG considers to be the big guns that it's going to bring out for this, if all this up to now has just been their small guns. And on to Diablo news. Back around September, we were covering rumors about a Diablo Netflix series. Rumors that seemed all but confirmed when the alleged showrunner Andy Cosby tweeted that he's in, quote, final talks to write and showrun the upcoming Diablo series from Activision and Netflix. And then the next day he deleted that tweet because it was clearly a big oopsie that he was not supposed to reveal. And at that point, it was basically, in my mind, proven. This rumor was true. The only question was, did he screw up everything by tweeting that? Did the deal fall through? Did he get, well, I guess you can't get fired if you weren't hired to begin with, but was he moved off the project? Was the whole project put on hiatus because of that leak? Well, the news this week is that it's been found that Blizzard has registered the trademark Diablo for movies and TV shows. The category is, quote, downloadable films and movies featuring narratives based on a video game and provided via a video-on-demand service, aka a Netflix series. Or just a single movie, I guess. I'd still be excited for a Diablo Netflix series. It seems like 2019 is going to see a reveal of a multitude of Diablo projects. Obviously, Diablo Immortal is one of them, but probably the Netflix series will be another. It's all but certain that Diablo 4 will be revealed this year, just because they can't keep putting it off at this point. We'll likely get that Diablo 2 remaster revealed, but the question is, did this all come a year too late? Did Diablo Immortal ruin Diablo for you, and now you'll just refuse to engage with any Diablo content? Sound off in the comments on that. And speaking of Diablo Immortal, allegedly, Diablo Immortal may be preloadable in Taiwan. Now this news/rumor comes via website 9game.cn, and it's coming through a Google translated Chinese write-up. But what it seems to be saying is that you are able to download the game, and their screenshots seem to corroborate that. If we look right now in our App Store or our Play Store, we don't have that same button. We have the pre-register button, not the, I guess, download button. And what the article is saying is that you can download it, but you cannot actually load into the game. The website also seems to suggest that the game, Diablo Immortal, will be launching in the first quarter of this year, which gives us until the end of March. So it seems unlikely that we'll get a full release so soon, but maybe the start of a beta or something. Again, NetEase allegedly did say recently that they believe that their side of things is complete. So the possibility exists that we are just a couple weeks away from some major Diablo Immortal news. You know, for those of you who are looking forward to playing the game, and those of you who are looking forward to bombing the Metacritic rating with zeros. And that is going to wrap up this week's video. But do be sure to have checked out last week's video, in which we discuss the release of Diablo 1 on GOG. Special thanks to my Twitch, Patreon, and now YouTube supporters for making these videos possible. If you like what you see on this channel and want to support the creation of more content, you can consider supporting on Patreon or YouTube, unlock behind-the-scenes content, and gain my eternal gratitude. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, check out these other videos, and subscribe to join Riker's Raiders for more gaming content.